From Fox 8 News, this is a special presentation. You Decide 2010, the race for county executive.
Hello and welcome to a Fox 8 News special, You Decide 2010, the race for county executive. I'm Stephanie Schaefer along with Wayne Dawson and Tracy McCool.
In the next 30 minutes, we will profile all 6 candidates for the brand new position of Cuyahoga County Executive and help prepare you to cast an important vote on November 2nd.
But before we profile the 6 men running for the job, it's important to understand how we got to this point.
Fox 8's Bill Shield takes a look at a groundbreaking change in Cuyahoga County politics.
You can trace the origins of this election back to the summer of 2008. That's when federal agents executed a series of massive coordinated raids.
Certainly, it's an ongoing investigation in regards to public corruption.
9 months earlier, the Fox 8 I-Team broke the story of an FBI probe of county government. Our story questioned why the low bidder on a multi-million-dollar asbestos removal contract at the old Ameritrust Tower did not get the job. Jeff Blanton, who's from St. Louis, runs that company.
In your opinion, is it fixed?
You know what, I hesitate to say that. People have to draw their own conclusions.
From the beginning, it was clear that the 2 main targets of the probe were County Commissioner Jimmy DeMora and his longtime political ally, County Auditor Frank Russo. Initially, Russo denied any wrongdoing.
You know, I've done nothing to warrant the search.
But recently, he did an about-face. In a plea deal that will save most of his family from prosecution, the 60-year-old Russo agreed to a 21-year prison sentence. As for Jimmy DeMora,
nice day in Cleveland, Ohio, baby.
He's going to trial.
I've done nothing wrong. I am innocent of all of these allegations.
People became enraged at tales in court documents of bribes that included Vegas trips and, in the case of DeMora, alleged hookers, an allegation he denies. In this environment, voters went to the polls last November with a stark choice: vote to study how to improve the current 3-member county commission form of government, or dissolve the commission out of existence and choose a new council and executive form of government. Voters chose the new government overwhelmingly by roughly a 2-to-1 margin. Bill Shield, Fox 8 News.
We'll be reminding you throughout this special that Election Day is November 2nd.
Well, now it's time to begin our look at the candidates.
We'll introduce them to you alphabetically.
And we begin with Republican nominee Matt Dolan. With experience in the Ohio legislature, Dolan says he is the man to help lead Cuyahoga County reform.
Health issues, a lot of trauma issues.
As the Republican candidate for Cuyahoga County Executive, Matt Dolan knows the importance of programs like the one here at Recovery Resources.
And this is one of the agencies that receives county funds, and it serves an important function. It deals with folks who have mental illness and alcohol and drug addiction. It also has a heavy influence of people who come from the judicial system, meaning right from incarceration. And I want to make sure that they understand that in this new form of government, that I understand the needs that they fill.
Assisted by private donations and funds from the county, Recovery Resources serves over 13,000 individuals and their families. Today, Matt is showing his support at an event.
So we get people off of drugs, off of alcohol, treat their mental illness so they can become productive members of society, not only for all of us, but for themselves.
It's with that same concern for those organizations that Matt also has for our county.
What our county has lacked is a mission, vision and leadership. So it's very simple. I'm running with a mission to restore honesty and integrity to our government, to create a thriving, growing, diverse population and economy.
How can you get our city revitalized and get those jobs back?
Well, we have to recognize that we have job creation taking place right now. We have our healthcare industry, we have nanotechnology, we have bioscience. You know, those are unique niches to Cleveland and Cuyahoga County that we need to exploit. That will attract private investment. We also have great opportunities. We have the casino coming online, we have the convention center, MedMart, we got the Ireland Cancer Center, we have Cleveland Clinic building, we have maybe right where we're standing right now, the east bank of the flats maybe could be revitalized. That's going to create a whole service industry.
A partner in a law firm, Matt was elected to 3 terms in the Ohio legislature and served parts of Cuyahoga and Geauga counties. While in the House, Matt worked on critical issues like lowering taxes and reducing the size of government. He is impassioned about his hope for our county.
And I want to bring an attitude of we are great here and we can, take advantage of our assets. We're standing next to one right here. When I was in the State House, I worked on the Great Lakes Compact to make sure that this great natural asset is ours for economic development.
Matt Dolan wants to move our county forward. He believes experience is key in this race.
I have both a combination of the business experience, legal experience with the political experience.
And we're sharing some fascinating facts about each of the candidates as well. Did you know Matt Dolan is a self-proclaimed parrot head? He is a huge Jimmy Buffett fan. And now to the second of the 6 men running for the Cuyahoga County Executive.
This candidate represents the Green Party.
David Ellison is an architect by trade and has a plan to help rebuild Cuyahoga County and build a solid foundation for Northeast Ohio. David Ellison is a Cleveland architect who's been around this community for more than 20 years. He started the Green Party here in 1989 and wants to be the new Cuyahoga County executive.
But here we are. This opportunity arose, and I thought it was an important thing to do.
And Ellison refuses to spend money outside the county to run for his position. Even his yard signs will be printed here in the county. And finding a printer for his needs hasn't been easy.
I have talked a printer into running single-sided yard signs that I will staple back to back and put on wire frames.
That is one of his central themes of his economic development plan, keep the money in Cuyahoga County. Ellison says he would like to form a public bank, the Bank of Cuyahoga County. It would be a state-chartered bank that would hold its own mortgages.
It wouldn't be allowed to trade in derivatives or risky investments. It would be limited to investing strictly in Cuyahoga County, and it would be forbidden from committing usury.
Ellison will also put up a fight to protect taxpayers' money. His latest battle, the proposed demolition of the Ameritrust Towers.
They've spent $40 million on that. If they had been successful, it would have been that much and more to create an empty lot.
Another idea is urban agriculture, investing in local food.
$3.5 billion gets spent in Cuyahoga County every year on food. If you add restaurants to that, we're talking $4.2 billion. 97 cents out of every one of those dollars gets sent to California, South America, anywhere we buy food, but it doesn't stay here in Cuyahoga County. 1 acre of land in Cuyahoga County, properly farmed and cultivated, could produce $100,000 worth of fruits and vegetables every year.
This would create jobs and make people less dependent on the system. David Ellison is a man who really wants to make a difference and knows how important this position is to the people of Cuyahoga County.
How much people need integrity in their public officials. When I first started circulating my petitions, I'm not sure I was clear on how important this position was, or how much responsibility goes along with being a candidate. We get told so much that public officials are corrupt.
Now for a fascinating fact about David Ellison. Did you know when he graduated from college, his love of cars led him to get a job in a gas station and become a certified mechanic?
There is much more coming your way as we profile the candidates for Cuyahoga County Executive.
Up next, why Lakewood's mayor says he's the man for the job. We're going to meet the Democrats' choice, Ed Fitzgerald.
Plus, independent candidate Ken Lancey, the self-made man, explains his plan for Cuyahoga County's future.
We'll also hear from former County Commissioner Tim McCormick, why he says his experience makes him the best choice.
Plus, Don Scipione, this scientist and business owner, reveals his plans. All that and more when we come back. Stay with us.
Welcome back to Decision 2010, the race for Cuyahoga County Executive.
We're profiling the 6 candidates for Cuyahoga County Executive.
Up next, Ed Fitzgerald, the Lakewood mayor, says he's ready to clean up corruption and create jobs.
I state your name.
I, Jim Bennett.
Recognizing my duty.
Recognizing my duty.
The swearing in of the latest class of Lakewood police and firefighters. Will it be one of Ed Fitzgerald's final duties as Lakewood's mayor?
It's an opportunity to do great things.
He's talking about becoming the county's first county executive. I sat down with the Democratic candidate to talk about his campaign and the issues facing Cuyahoga County. First, the economy. Do you propose raising taxes?
No. I'll tell you how we can do it. The same way that we were able to do it, by the way, in my city. In the city of Lakewood, we basically doubled the amount of money we spend on economic development. And we did that without raising taxes. We're about 20% more efficient than we were 3 years ago. So we were able to reduce number of vehicles, number of personnel, we were able to reduce overtime, and we were able to dramatically become more efficient. And the county can do the same thing.
Next, regionalization. Working with the county's various cities and municipalities.
If you're elected, you'll be the most powerful man in Cuyahoga County.
Well, it's going to be a partnership, and if you think you're going to come in and just order everybody around, it's not going to work.
And in the wake of the FBI investigation unveiling sweeping corruption throughout county government, there's the issue of trust.
My background in law enforcement, I think, demonstrates my integrity, and I'm the only person that's running that has that kind of a background. I worked as an FBI agent investigating political corruption. I understand it, I've seen it, I know where it comes from, and I'm going to know how to root it out of the system.
But buried in the 139-page federal indictment against County Commissioner Jimmy DeMora is a person called Public Official 14, now identified as Ed Fitzgerald. He admits to taking a politically related phone call from Commissioner DeMora, but he has not been charged with any crimes.
I always knew that as a Democrat, and I'm the Democratic candidate in this race, that there was going to be an attempt to try to act like all Democrats are the same and they're all making the same mistakes. And it's not true, and it doesn't work with me.
Is this swearing-in ceremony in Lakewood a preview of Fitzgerald being sworn in as the county's first county executive in January? Voters will make that decision, but this married father of four says he's qualified.
I have the best biography in terms of dealing with these corruption issues. I have the best record in terms of being an executive that's gotten things done.
And here's our Did You Know fact for Ed Fitzgerald. He first became interested in politics because of his admiration for Robert F. Kennedy.
So far, we've met the candidates from the Republican, Democratic, and Green parties.
But there are 3 candidates running in this race as independents.
And one of them is Ken Lancey. Jobs and progress is his motto. Lancey wants to turn Cuyahoga County back into the best location in the nation.
It's a true rags to riches story.
I came from the inner city, was born in the projects. My parents were on relief. So, I mean, it's been a driver for me. And I have a high school education. And I've made the best of it.
The best of it he did. Ken Lancey started working at 13 years old. At 19, he saved the family business. And today, the company he founded, Consolidated Technologies Group, has sales close to $25 million a year.
Everything I've learned from other people.
He tells me his life story has laid the foundation for the county executive position.
Very good. Looks great. I've had over 800 meetings and events preparing for this job. I am ready to go. I know what needs to be done. I don't need a junior achievement experience. I don't need on-the-job training. I'm ready to go on day one.
Ken Baker.
Ken Lancey.
It's that strong business success that Ken says would translate to success for Cuyahoga County.
It's exactly what I do. It's what I've done for 40 years. I've done turnarounds, which the county needs to be turned around. I have done startups, okay, and we have to start a new government. And I've done mergers and acquisitions. We need to merge departments together.
I think you're doing great. I think we need you.
Yeah, thank you.
As our county government is in a flux of turmoil, Ken says the time is now for an independent to fix things.
I have to do that pure of heart. I have to do it independently. I have to do it for $1 a year of giving back the salary and the pension of over $1 million in 4 years. And I'm going to limit my contributions to $250 per person. No PAC money, no corporate money, no employee money, Cuyahoga County employee money, and no special interest money. So I will work for all the people.
People have lost a lot of faith in our county government. How can you restore trust and credibility now in the voters and in our community?
Judge me based on what I've done, okay? I've been successful. I've worked with charitable organizations, my whole life. And so I feel very confident that this particular job, if it was a company, I'd buy it because I know I can fix it.
Fix it by creating and maintaining jobs, putting an end to any and all corruption, and improving our current tax system. Ken Lancey has high hopes for our county.
That's my goal, is that we can look back 4 years from now and say, you know what? We're the best location in the nation. Cuyahoga County and Greater Cleveland. That's my goal.
And here's our Did You Know fact for Ken Lancey. Did you know Ken has won several awards and competitions as a power weightlifter and bodybuilder?
Two more candidates to introduce you to.
Coming up next, former County Commissioner Tim McCormick says he has the experience to get the job done.
And Don Scipione, he has a plan to save the county $200 million. Meet them both next. We welcome you back to a Fox 8 News special, Decision 2010, the race for county executive.
Well, we are profiling the 6 candidates for Cuyahoga County Executive.
Up next, Tim McCormick, the former Cuyahoga County Commissioner. He says he has the experience to turn the county around. A strategy session between Tim McCormick and his inner circle of advisors, an attempt to finalize plans he hopes will end with his election as the first Cuyahoga County executive.
Why is this so important to you? Because it saves lives if you do this job well. Teenagers who are in trouble, babies.
I joined the candidate for a stroll along the lakefront, an area he calls vital to the county's future.
We should have a world-class designer and competition. People from Europe and Asia who are redeveloping their waterfronts come here and tell us what's feasible with these several miles stretching from downtown in both directions. I think that would excite people about wanting to be here. And I think if we develop a waterfront development authority for housing, recreation, and innovative businesses on the lakefront and along the Cuyahoga River, we're going to become a much more attractive city.
He says he would not raise taxes without the consent of voters. So how would he move the county forward?
You've got to develop a plan. According to the Federal Reserve Chairman here, she said, make sure that you have a long-range economic development plan with regional scope and stay with it for years.
Unlike his 5 opponents, McCormick is the only one to run for mayor of the city of Cleveland, and he is the only candidate to be elected to county office. He served with embattled County Commissioner Jimmy DeMora on the Cuyahoga County Commission for 6 years.
But how do you separate yourself from the old guard? Because I was not there when any of that happened. All of it dates from 2005 forward, according to the federal charges. None of that happened when I was there.
You're 65 years old. Why would
Someday somebody's going to ask you that.
I know, that's very soon. Yeah. But you're 65. Why would you take on this challenge at this point in your life?
Because I don't think I've changed at all in terms of the degree of excitement I have for good government. And I am really looking forward, should the community want me to do it, to serving.
You would be the most powerful man in all of Cuyahoga County.
No, I wouldn't. Only if we do good as a group together. I don't want power. Throughout my career, I've understood the difference between right and wrong. You can trust me.
Here's our Did You Know fact about Tim McCormick. His favorite musical artist of all time is Beethoven.
And that brings us to the final candidate for Cuyahoga County Executive.
This candidate says modern technology is the answer.
Don Scipione is a scientist and business owner who says his lack of experience in politics is just what the county needs.
Take the rapid to Windermere, and I'd walk down these tracks and come down this hill.
Don Scipione was just 16 years old when he went to work for the very first time in his father's factory once located on this spot. He says it was inside this Goit Avenue machine shop where he learned the value of hard work.
That's where I learned more about people and about what it meant to have a job and to work hard than any other education I've had.
Scipione is a small businessman with big ideas. He's also a scientist who has come up with a formula to fix the county's problems in just 4 years, saving $200 million a year.
I believe in teamwork, innovation, and accountability.
First on his list, stabilize county government.
Institute productivity in the business systems and the software that the county uses. We can do that. In over 4 years, we can increase productivity by 30%. No question about it.
Number 2 is to focus on early education from 0 to 8 years old.
By the 3rd grade, read, write, calculate, and know how to take care of yourself. If we don't do it by the 3rd grade, we are going to have endless wave after wave of illiteracy moving forward, poor workforce, and large demand on county services.
Next is health care.
We're moving the health care plan of the county out to the other municipalities, focusing and strengthening and making a vigorous medical health tech industry. We've laid the foundation. I'm going to push it.
As far as all these vacant properties,
The answer is we've got to get together and figure out a way to tear these all down and green this property and make a difference for these people here. We can do it. It's, you know, they're all for free. The question is just demolishing them. We've got to figure out how we're going to do that.
Scipione was the leader behind last year's Issue 6 campaign, which was to switch to a charter form of county government. It wasn't until May of this year he decided to run for the position himself.
I thought there would be some really highly qualified people who were visionary in terms of what they could do and wanting reform. And no one showed up.
He is the man who pushed for change and wants to be the new county executive.
As an independent, I had to collect 4,500 valid signatures. I personally collected 42% of those. So I talked to a lot of people. Everyone is disgusted with the way government is. I helped write that charter. I believe in the charter. I'm committed to that charter.
Did you know when Don Scipione was 18 years old, he won the Northeast Ohio Science Fair and went on to the finals? Now he's a judge for that same event.
Well, now you've met all 6 candidates.
But we have more from all of them when we come back.
We asked each candidate to describe himself in one word. We'll have that for you next.
Welcome back to Decision 2010, the race for county executive.
We have profiled all 6 candidates for county executive, but we are not done just yet.
That's right. We asked each candidate to describe themselves in one word. So here they are with the final word.
Pragmatic.
Conscientious.
I'm analytical.
Independent.
Dedicated. Innovative.
A reminder that Election Day is November 2nd, and the place to be for all of their election news and results is Fox 8 and fox8.com.
And that wraps up Decision 2010, the race for Cuyahoga County Executive.
We hope we've helped you make an educated choice when you go to the polls on November 2nd.
From the entire Fox 8 News team, thank you for watching. The 3 of us will see you on Fox 8 News in the morning. So long.